Welcome back to another Tiger Style podcast. We're back with Beau and Coach Smith. I'm Kennan Haggerty, and this podcast we're brought to you by Shelter Insurance, ranked number one in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power 7 out of the last 8 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Let's get this thing rolling.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has. Coach Smith, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Got a good team. Got a lot of everybody was here the entire summer, so it's exciting. You know, just having now that we're only 4 weeks away from the first competition, so ready to go.
4 weeks away. What'd you guys do this summer?
Hang out.
Play some kickball?
No, it's a big. I think it was 8 or 9 freshmen. So getting them in and getting them in the weight program and getting them adjusted to that, and then getting them on the mats and going through some drills, how to hand fight, how to get off the bottom, some things like that. But then just coming together as a team. They had weekly team meetings. We had meetings with the captains, the leadership, 7 guys. So it was a good summer where the team came together in a good way, culture-wise.
You've been here over 25 years now. What's the biggest jump for a freshman? Transfer is not necessarily the same, but for a freshman to get on the mat and see some of the older guys, that's an eye-opener, isn't it?
Well, some of it's maturity. You're going
Yeah.
to be wrestling guys that are 22, with COVID, 23 years old, and they're 18 or 19, so that's a big difference. And the other thing is, in high school, the competition, can be through a season where they don't give up a takedown and they may never get ridden. Then they come in our room and they may never get an escape. And it's just going through the mental side of that. They have to make the adjustment and start to work on the technique. I think the mental side is the tougher side for a young kid to go through on how they're going to deal with that, where they were the big fish and now they're the little fish, and they struggle some, and it's getting them through that. That's a big part of when we do our mental Mondays on how to think and get through situations like that, but also just dealing with toughness. It's going to be tough. There's going to be adversity, and you got to learn to deal with it and get better, getting on the mat and doing one-mores and working in those areas.
It's the first time, and maybe in a while, that you've had a couple of transfers coming in to start the year, too. What's that been like?
It's been great because both of them were friends. They both went to Northwestern and had graduated, and when we saw them in the portal, they fit 2 weight classes that we needed. So it was like, man, if we could get both of them, and we ended up getting Max first, and then Evan came later.
Yeah.
And but it was big for us because they bring in guys that have been to the national tournament, won matches at the national tournament, and they came in for the summer and just kind of blended in and loved it and fit the culture really well. Very bright guys.
Yeah.
Max is like construction management or whatever, and already has a job set up in June, where Evan is engineering and just off the charts smart. Reminds me of a Peyton Mako, but just hungry to learn and be a part of the culture, and it did a really good job this summer blending in.
When you have a transfer come in to Tiger Style, I'm sure they are open eyes when they say, oh, this is how, maybe we didn't do it that way at our old place, but this is how you do it here.
Yeah, heard a bit about that from them, that they love the way it's structured, the way the team is, the way they hang out together and do things, and just how purpose-driven they are. So I think that's an important thing of what they wanted to be a part of. So it's nice having them.
You talked about this summer, the guys kind of coming together and the culture just kind of tightening up. What are some of the things that maybe the leadership group did or that the team did over the summer that really kind of brought them together or made them step outside their comfort zone?
Well, first I met with the 7 leaders. We read a book together where they'd meet at my house every week, and we'd go through things, whether it was what's going on with the team, what can you guys do better, or how do we just make this culture even better, stronger than it's been in the past. And that was something that was important to all of us. We just felt like we could do more as a program than we had done in the past. Then they would meet with the team separately once a week, and they would do a meeting away from campus. I wanted it not in the wrestling room. I wanted it away from campus. So they were doing things together. And when you're away from the wrestling room, it actually, you get to know each other, outside of wrestling, which is important. And so they grew, there was a closer bond on the team. Then they broke into 4 groups, and they did a one more competition. They asked me what teams in the past had done.
Yeah.
I told them, talked to some guys from the teams that finished really high up there in the country. They called, I think, the 2015 team and what they were doing, and talked to some of those guys. And they heard about these one more competitions and how it just drove the teams to do more and be competitive in the summer. And that's what they chose to do. And it was really neat to see, because they were getting after it all summer and very competitive.
Everything
was very competitive, but doing more workouts and extra workouts. So it was a great summer how they came together.
Well, you had quite a few additions to the roster, but you also had a pretty solid addition to your staff with Keegan O'Toole. Pretty exciting stuff for Tiger Style.
Definitely. Keegan is, somebody that has bought into this culture from when he was like just finishing up his sophomore year when I was recruiting him. He came here for that. He could have went to a lot of other places and stayed here, all 5 years, and, going through the COVID issues where he didn't get to be the summer before, be a part of where we indoctrinate, how we're going to do things. It was kind of a struggle, but came in and loved this culture, had great success, wants to coach, and I noticed that he has a passion for coaching that, it's something I look for when I'm hiring people. I want people that love to make people better, and that's what he's about, and has such a passion for this program that this will be his 6th year with us now. And now on the coaching side, but did a great job this summer transitioning. I know it was difficult because some of them are his friends, and he has to start to create that separation where now I'm the coach and you're the athlete, but he's done an exceptional job.
Does he have a specific role that he's going to do?
I mean, just he's helping with recruiting. He's going to do a lot of teaching on the mat, and brings a lot. We've been having him do once a week with scrambling drills, and situations where a lot of injuries occur in scrambling. We're trying to work at that to cut down on that, where guys know those situations, but. Just all in all, he brings a great leadership to the program of just how to be successful and how he was driven as an athlete, which he still is. He's still competing to make a world team and maybe in the future make the Olympic team. So he's going to bring a lot of everything to that with his coaching ability. But I like, too, that he enjoys the recruiting side. And that's a big plus, because he's known by these young recruits, and now he's calling them up. So that's a real big plus.
He's passionate, and he's a natural.
Yes.
He's got it in him. So, but we got to ask you. I know probably a lot of people are asking you about one of his idols and Tiger Style legends, Ben Askren. Have you heard from him? How's he doing? How's things going?
I usually talk with Ben once a week, and actually told him I'm going on the podcast today. How's he feeling? How's this week going? And of course, he gets very frustrated because he's probably the most driven person I've ever been around, and he's like, I've kind of plateaued, and he's frustrated by that, but he's not getting worse. But he feels like he's not getting better, but I do know that he is. He did tell me he's having a much better day today. I mean, you got to realize he had 2 lungs replaced, and what he's going through and having to be controlled, by the situation where he can't get back on the mats and he's having trouble breathing. He has to stay away from big crowds, and keep himself healthy while he's going through this process. And they say it takes a solid year to kind of get through where you feel like yourself again. But I know Ben, he's probably pushing it too much, and he has to pull him back. But the great thing is, I talked to some of the kids we've been recruiting from Wisconsin that are coached by Ben, and they're like, yeah, we had Ben at an individual where there's only a few kids there, and he sits on a chair mat side and is coaching them, and they love that because he can still coach by talking to them without having to get on the mat and do things. So he's still making, helping kids out and doing what he loves.
And he's making progress too, because even if you just see him on social media, if you look at him today versus 2 months ago, I mean, I know he feels like he's plateaued, but he's making a lot of progress.
And I just think it's unbelievable that he gets on these weekly things and he's telling people, why we should be getting, trying to help others.
Yeah.
And not talk, I'm fine, I'm going to be fine, but here's the way you got to think and do things. And so that's what makes Ben special. He was that way as a teammate and how he brought the program up with that mentality, and he continues to do it, even in the toughest of times for him.
Just something that's so bizarre and just can kind of come out of nowhere. Is there anything that, since he's a coach and he's passing on all this information and knowledge, is there anything that you've taken from him in this time?
Just, how when he came out of the, the induced coma or whatever, and was out for like 60 days, when he heard about all the support that his family was given from, the community, from the wrestling community nationwide to his AWA club, all the parents and families, how they were helping Amy and his kids, and how thankful he was. Right. And, just appreciative. And, that Ben doesn't always get that, but I know him personally. I know how thankful he was, and that for him, that is driving him to get better because of all the people that helped out through that time and were praying for him and caring, helping his family. That's helping drive him to get better.
It's been pretty special, and you could definitely see in those videos just how thankful he was.
Oh, yeah.
It was very sincere, and continue to, hope that things can progress with him and his fight here. But moving on to the next thing here, Beau, a family that's close with you that we're doing something special for here in the Hearns is the recovery room, the Bus and Jana Tarbox recovery room. Coach, Beau, you guys have been with these two for a long, long time. Probably a long time coming to do something like this.
Great family. Great family. And
yeah.
Bus, I think he's your roommate on the road. He's been with you the whole way, and I know that you've fought for him to be the team doc.
Yep.
And, I mean, he's done a lot, and so has Jana. Jana, behind the scenes, does a lot for your team.
Oh, amazing. They open up their house every week for their leadership group, a little FCA huddle type thing. And I think this year we have 19 to 20 guys going every week, all through the summer, all through the year round. Shoot, even at the NCAAs, we do a Zoom with the guys that are back home and still have the meeting the day before the nationals start. That he's just so driven to not just keep guys healthy physically, but in the spiritual way and just mentally, that to open your house up and let all these young men come into your house, it takes a special group, a couple, and that's Bus and Jana. So when we had this idea and saw this room in the back of our locker room, which was the original locker room when I first got here, was being used for storage, I'm like, this would be a great recovery room. And then one thing led to another. We started to promote it. Money started coming in when we named it the Bus and Jana Tarbox Recovery Room. And we raised enough money to purchase, 2 massage chairs that are top-of-the-line massage chairs. They're amazing. I snuck my wife in the other day, and she's like, I want to get in this room and use this. This is amazing. The infrared light that they can stand at and do, whatever it is, the cell recovery type stuff. And then there's 2 sleep pods that we picked up, and where you can just lay in there. It covers you up, and it plays music, and can it'll massage your back a little bit and you can sleep. And then it's got 3 or 4 chairs in there where we have all the guns and the what is it, the
Theraguns
and the boots to help recovery. So it's just amazing. Even the staff here, Tony and his staff, going above and beyond, the guys that help us with facilities to help get it done with paint, with redoing the ceilings and putting in the lighting for it. It's just everybody wanted to make this thing happen for the program and for Bus and Jana. So we will have a day here in the next few weeks where we'll announce, that we're going to do the ribbon cutting ceremony. But it's it's going to be a great help to our program. Guys are, we have our own cold tub, then they can go from there and do massage
Hey,
and
the
infrared
equipment
light.
works. Somebody had to test it.
That's
and
right.
It's
Where's
all
Denise?
It's all good.
Well, the good thing too is that's not just for after a duel. I mean, that's
No,
after
that's-
practice. That's anytime they need it.
And that's the great thing about it. Our guys have access to the Hearns that they can go in there, and if they need a nap, if they need to
Yeah,
do some
that's true.
massage, or just after their cold tub, can go in and do some infrared recovery. So it allows us to be at an elite level with what we provide to our student athletes.
Definitely got to say thank you to all those that did support to it. That we couldn't do it without you, and we really appreciate it. And we know Bus and Jana, when they see this thing, they're going to be so thankful as well. It's a great space, and hopefully those guys on the team just understand how helpful this can be for them and utilize it, which I think they will. But
I think it's Bus's 24th or 5th year with the program, so not too many team doctors have hung around that long for a program, and we're very fortunate. So pleased to have this for them.
definitely. A lot of things coming up.
Yes.
Start diving into what's coming up, and we've got one thing that Coach Smith's wife Denise has started a couple years ago, the Women's Night Out on October 30th. That's a Thursday, just before the season kicks off. Coach Smith, what is the Women's Night Out?
It's a lot of fun for women. I know that.
It sells out too.
It sells out, and I like the way it's going because this is the third year. And the first year, I felt like it was me and you doing it,
Yeah.
and then we got the women. Hey, you got to take this over. That's the purpose. I got kicked to the basement the other night, and there was like 8 women in my house for a 5-hour meeting. So I don't know what you talk about in 5 hours, but I was kicked in the basement for that long. I came up a couple times to give my 2 cents and got sent back down. So they have taken it over, and it'll probably have 150 women this year, and I think some of the proceeds will go towards the Askren recovery and all that. But it's just a fun night where they talk about wrestling, some of the things, being coaches' wives, promoting the program, but just having a good time. And they get a lot of donations from different area businesses and have a lot of fun giving prizes out.
Oh, the prizes last year were outrageous.
Yeah, they get some great stuff. And they just, it's more of an enjoyable evening. They're talking about some crazy things that they're going to do to have fun, but they have a lot of fun. And it's just let the general community, that support us know a little, they give them a little bit of question and answer and some education on the sport of wrestling, but then also what it's like to be a coach's wife or
Right.
a partner of somebody what it's like doing this job, and it's not easy. So it's fun though. They have a good time.
I know you've mentioned that, Denise would invite friends to the duels and things like that, and I just don't understand. I don't know wrestling. I don't understand how the scoring works, and that was the idea, to bring them together, kind of teach them a little bit, but also Denise, she knows how to throw a party, so
Yes, she does.
it's a great time. I'm glad that it's being passed along, and they're running with it. I know that it's going to sell out quick, and those
it's great
tickets will
that
be
it
on
grows
sale
like
soon.
this, that people want to be there for it. So and we've given to different causes. I know we've given, I think it was the Children's Hospital, and then it was to a cancer.
Yeah.
So it was. It's just it's a good thing to have where we involve the community and have some fun and raise some money.
Definitely. Well, let's thank our partner Socket. Socket Fiber is now available, the fastest, most reliable internet, combined with local service and simple billing. Contact Socket today for voice, data, and internet services for your home and business. 1-800-SOCKET3 or visit socket.net. Next thing, we got Alumni Weekend.
Well, the schedule's out. I mean, that's the good part is.
Definitely.
And so last year, if I remember right, you guys were away, and then finally home in the latter half of the year. It's it's well distributed this year. And with that being said, Alumni Weekend can be earlier.
Yes. And that was something our alumni asked for, because some of them are coaches or they don't want to be close to Christmas. So having it in early November was big. Also, pairing it up with a football game
Right.
was popular. We did it a few years ago with a Florida game. This year, it'll be Texas A&M, and the way Coach Drink and his staff are coaching them up, that could be a huge game, and will be a huge game no matter what. But that's going to be a fun one, and that'll be on Saturday the 8th. And then November 9th, we're bringing the Tiger Style invite back from Kansas City, where we've had it 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it'll be our 4th year of it. It's going to be very competitive with, I think, Purdue,
Oklahoma, South Dakota
State,
Little Rock.
Little
There's
Rock.
5 teams this year. That's
That's
5
awesome.
teams.
So we'll probably have most of our 30 guys wrestling in it. So it'll be a great event for people to come out, sit in the Hearns. It'll go, it won't be a long day. It'll probably get finished by 5, start earlier in the day, but you can go to a football game on Saturday, come watch some wrestling and see our guys compete against some tough competition the next day. So I think we already have 50 of our alumni coming back.
That's great.
And I think that day we're going to have a special presentation of something for Jaden Cox. I can't tell you what it is, but it's going to be a special day for Jaden Cox. So we're excited about that. Jaden's coming back, and of course, the whole gang that lives here in Columbia, all his family will be here. So we're excited about that.
And that's on Sunday, November 9th. The Sunday before, one change this year is there's no black and gold because you're going to wrestle some other teams, which
It's
seems
all
to make
Missouri
sense.
teams. It's all
Yeah.
Missouri colleges. And one of the things is with our RTC, a lot of these colleges have been coming up and training with us. And we've actually become friends with the coaches and the athletes, and a really good relationship has been built. So we went to those coaches and when we kind of just asked them, I think Kennan was in charge of this, but why not just come in and let's celebrate all the college programs that we can get to come, and I think we have like 6 of them coming, or
6 including us. So.
6 including us coming in for these duels, and it's all Missouri colleges. And so it'll be instead of having our black and gold, we'll wrestle 3 duels that day. We'll get to cheer for us then,
Yep.
but all the other families and fans from the area will come in too, and it'll be a great day for the state of Missouri and college wrestling. And that was our plan behind it, and I'm glad the other coaches bought into doing it, and because it takes everybody coming together. And I think the high school coaches clinic is going to be that weekend.
Oh,
They're going to come
terrific.
in. So we're trying to get all the high school programs to come back for it and support wrestling in the state of Missouri. So it should be a great weekend.
You mentioned something earlier about the season, maybe last year or the year before, with not having a home event until the second. We weren't quite sure if we could get the invite on campus, and so we definitely wanted to have something. And the Missouri Duels became an option, and now it's boom, Missouri Duels, Tiger Style invite, and a great time to bring the alumni back early in the year and get them engaged.
Yeah.
So it's been a great setup for the season, and then we hit a couple home duels, big time home duels, second semester too. So it's shared first and second semester a little bit.
A couple new things on the schedule that we're going to that we sent some guys to the Soldier Salute, but we're bringing the whole program this year, and return of the national duels, which will be that 3rd week of November, which hasn't happened in a long time. So we're going to where the building where we have the
That's
Big
in Tulsa,
12,
right?
Yeah, right in Tulsa. So it'll give some of our younger guys that are in the lineup, that first time to wrestle in the building where the Big 12s are. So, but we'll see some tough comp. The best teams in the country, I think almost everybody but Penn State are going to that. So it's going to be very competitive tournament, a dual tournament.
We talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but let's just, you don't have to give the lineup right now, but what is this team going to look like? Because to me, last year, the face was Keegan.
Yeah.
He's now departed and on the staff, so it's kind of a little different for Mizzou this year, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, when you look at Cam coming back, becoming an All-American in his first year starting as a sophomore, he'll be a junior. And then Aiden, we know, has been in all the world competition and, to make world teams. and we know he's awfully special. So those two are kind of the big returners coming back, but you also have a senior like Josh Edmond that's been in the program for a long time and is going to lead the program, and a guy like Cade Moore that's been to the Nationals twice now. And so we have some, and Jay Conway qualifying for the first time, that there's a good mix of, you know, guys returning that have success, but then there's going to be some new guys in the lineup. Stoner was in and out of the lineup last year, is looking really strong right now at heavyweight. And then you have some guys like at Mac Mauger at 125, who has put on about 8 to 10 pounds of muscle, where he came in where he was just barely 125. Now he's going to have to cut weight and is a good-sized 25-pounder, and came in as a top recruit for us. So got that red shirt year in. I think all 10 guys are ranked, and when you add the experience of the transfers with Max and Evan that are ranked somewhere in there 10 to 12, it gives us a really solid team with all 10 weights that should be ranked, you know, somewhere in the top 30s, but some really good ones with Aiden and Cam, and you know, so it's exciting. You know, that's something we look forward to. This team's goals are set very high. They want to finish somewhere in the top 10, so it's they have high expectations. So it's going to be a really special season with this team when things start to flow the way I see it happening.
Well, they'll certainly be tested early in the year.
Yeah.
I mean, with our invite and then going straight to national duels, and you got Illinois, Nebraska all first semester. They're certainly going to be tested. So
Without a doubt.
I know that preseason and now that we're getting into the season, you're letting them know that we need to be ready.
Yeah, it's hard with our conference to have even some easier matches. So when you look at the Big 12, and then we added 2 Big 10 teams with Illinois and Nebraska. Nebraska should be ranked number 2 in the country. So we have some tough matches. And that isn't a home duel, but it is in the state of Missouri. So that'll be it'll be at Francis Howell High School. So that's that'll be a good home state event. So I'm sure a lot of St. Louis folks will be out there.
The last thing we've got for you is, if you are interested in Matt's side, if you want to either join, renew, maybe add some, let us know. Get in contact with me. We'll get you taken care of, get you connected with our ticket office. And then our Tigers with Style groups. We want to invite people and businesses and groups from the community to come out and be our Tigers with Style groups. We started this a few years ago.
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd or 4th year.
And
We've
it's
had the
been
same
tremendous.
Groups doing it, and
They always come back.
they always come back. I was just talking to some people from one of the local banks, and they were like, "We already have our date picked out. When are we going to get the info?" And they're fine, but that's fun. That's how you develop that support. And we would still be interested in other businesses. I know a fraternity already asked us about it. They want to be a part of it. So we have about 7 or 8 already locked in. But we'd love it if you have a business that, if you want to come out and support us, you'll get a T-shirt. You'll get brought out to the mat. We'll take a picture of you, and it's a fun time to get together as a business and support Tiger Style Wrestling.
There's room for many.
And also looking at Matt's side, I think Matt's side continues to grow, and we've added that 3rd row of seats where it's tiered so that people can see, and just that group of people that have bought these seats have pretty much renewed every year for the past 4, 5, 6 years we've had it. But we've added some seats, and it's a lot of fun. You get to come an hour before. There's food, there's drink, there's the socializing between all these dedicated Tiger Style fans. That if you want to do this, it's special. That these people have now become very good friends, and then they travel on the road sometimes together to some of the away matches. It's more than just seating. You're going to become a part of this really close-knit group of people that are truly the best Tiger Style fans there is.
It's a heck of a deal.
It is.
With all of that included, and the parking and everything.
Yep.
So it's not something that you're going to want to miss. If you do want to either be a Matt side ticket holder or have your business or community or group be a Tigers with Style group, come out, get in contact with me. My information's all over the website, email, cell phone. We'll get you set up. So super excited. We're ready to go. Coach Smith, I know that you're going to have these guys ready to go.
Yep.
November 2nd, that first weekend, we kick things off here in the Hearns. Beau, anything else?
I love it. Next time we'll have to dive into the freshmen a little bit.
Oh, we got
We
it.
talk transfers.
Yeah.
We got 9 freshmen to dive into as well.
Might have to bring a couple in here next
Yeah,
time.
right.
Yes, we'll do that.
So, Coach Smith, thank you as always, taking the time. Beau, as always, Tiger Style, stay ready.